Ooh la la ooh la la, it's the way that we rock when we doing our thing.
Welcome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bad Gyal Thoughts, the podcast. And I am the host, Bad Gyal Lee. Or you can find me on any social medias as Lia Keonna. Honestly, y'all, I'm just a bad gal, a young gal in her 20s, navigating her early 20s, navigating this crazy world we live in. I'm just here healing, growing mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, I'm healing. I really am. And I'm just learning how to navigate these 20s, these things we call our early 20s, adulthood, beginning of adulthood, and in this crazy ass world we live in, honestly, y'all. So I'm just here to take y'all on my journey. I always am told like I'm pretty wise for my age, so I kind of just want to share how I feel. I always want to share my words, share my thoughts, whatever. So hence, Bad Gyal Thoughts, the podcast. Welcome, y'all. And this is the first episode, first season, whichever. But I'm so excited to drop this November 11th, 11/11/2023, before we start the new year. And 11/11 means so much to me. That was actually the time I was born, 11:11 a.m. 11/11 was the day I dropped Lia Lovely Collections, my hair and lash business. So trying to just keep the trend going on 11/11. So that's why it's so important for me to drop it on that date, which is actually this Saturday. So I'm just not recording. I'm recording live. You feel me? And honestly, I know y'all just see me here. This is my podcast, honestly, of course, duh. But I will have guest hosts, co-hosts, other people navigating their 20s, people who already been there, done that. I'm gonna have a lot of different things in store. And if you have any, ever need advice, have questions, need me to talk on a particular subject, just comment it. I'll be glad to do it. Look through everything. So for the beginning of this particular episode season, for episode 1 of Bad Gyal Thoughts, what's the first thought? What's the first thing? I thought the best topic to introduce myself, introduce the podcast, introduce myself to podcasting would be no perfect timing. So what do you think of with no perfect timing? For me, it means that there's never a perfect time to start. And I have always been a person who's had so many different ideas, so excited to go into the world head on, but then I procrastinate or I stop because I'm thinking it's not perfect. I don't have the perfect equipment. I don't have the perfect looks. I don't, everything's not right for me to start. And honestly, we can't navigate life like that. We just can't. I've been learning, and kind of the older I get, I'm learning you can't really waste too much time. Life is so short and precious. You have to move now. You have to do it and want it for yourself now. And when it comes to no perfect timing, you have to act on it. You have to. I was reading. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to go back to my book because I had wrote down some things I wanted to touch on, make sure I don't forget. But I was speaking with my therapist. And I started therapy this year, y'all, and I've seen myself grow so much just mentally and emotionally as a person. I'm learning how to set boundaries and how to respect myself and love myself, So while in therapy, one of our topics were, no perfect timing or waiting, procrastinating for perfection. And we can't look for perfection. We can't look towards perfection. If we're chasing perfection, we're never going to start. If you're chasing perfection, you're never going to see it. And you have to learn how to let go of the if only mindset. So a lot of us are very if only, I don't know. If you say you want to do modeling. If only my teeth were straight, I could start modeling. No, start modeling now. Or if only I had the right equipment, I could start recording my YouTube. No, start now. If only I had this, then I can do that. You have to let go of that mindset. That will never get you anywhere. You'll always be chasing the if only. And I am a victim. I'm not a victim. I am somebody who does that. I'm learning. This is my foot out the door. This is my not so perfect moment. Me starting this podcast, doing this first episode, I don't feel like everything is perfect. I don't feel like everything is right to start, but I have to start. If I never start, I'm never going to get anywhere. I'm never going to know what can improve. I'm never going to know what they do like, what they don't like. So you have to start. And that's with any idea. That's if you plan on going to school. That's if you plan on starting an invention. If you plan on starting that business, you have to start from somewhere, because everybody starts from the bottom. Nobody just magically grew up and boom, they're there. Everybody works hard and everybody has to start somewhere. So the biggest thing is letting go of that if only mindset. And what does that if only mind, like, think about it. Take 2 seconds and think about what have you pushed back because of the if only mindset. Like, if only I had this, I can do this. If only I had the right camera, I can start YouTube. No, but you have an iPhone. Start it now. You know what I'm saying? Work with what you have. Move with what you do. Like, you'll grow. And there's nothing else better than the journey you take to get to where you want to go. Because they always say, it's not, what is it? It's not where you end. It's the journey you take to get there. So you have to look at that. If you don't love the journey, if you don't love the imperfections and everything, what is going to push you? What are you going to enjoy on your way up? Where's your smiles and laughs and love going to be on your way up? You have to love the imperfection. You have to love the journey. You have to fall in love with the journey. Because that is honestly what life is, a journey. What's the end? Is it death? So what's the journey to that end? Does that mean traveling for you? Does that mean working every day of your life? Does that mean following your dreams? Does that mean starting that new business? What's that journey? What does that look like for you? This thing we call life is so like, it's so everywhere. You can't draw it out on a paper. It's all over the place. So you have to fall in love with the journey. You have to be okay with the imperfections. You have to be okay with everything not being perfect right when you need it. You have to be okay with learning as you grow. You have to be okay with taking criticism. You have to be okay with putting yourself out there, because nobody else is going to do it or want it for you. You know what I'm saying? So me, like, for example, me doing this podcast, I've been wanting to do this for forever. I have even talked about doing it with friends, because I thought if I had a friend or a co-host, this would be perfect. If only I had a co-host or a friend to do this with, this would be perfect. But I had to get out that mindset. I don't need a co-host. I can talk very well for myself, and I know how to speak my mind. I don't need anybody else to help. Co-host will add on. But in the meantime, for me to start, I have to do it on my own. I have to grow on my own. Just like I also wrote down, I heard this quote: you will never be perfect when you start, but you have to start to be perfect. And really think about that. You will never be perfect when you start, but you have to start to be perfect. And what does that mean to you? If you want to start doing hair or doing braid, if doing hair but you don't even know how to braid, you're not going to learn how to braid as soon as you start. But after you do cornrows 10, 20 times on that fake doll head, you'll start getting fire. You'll start getting perfect at it. People will start seeing your talents. People will pay for the experience that you have already done. So think about it in that aspect. In life, you always can't wait for things to be perfect, because you're going to be waiting until the time runs out. You'll be waiting until that little hourglass sand stops dropping, and we can't do that. So letting go of that perfect mindset is kind of what I had to do to get this started. So that's why I kind of thought this would be the perfect first topic for the podcast, because I'm doing it. I'm doing what I'm preaching. You know, people are like, you're not moving how you preach, or you're not, I'm moving how I preach. I don't feel like everything set up around me is perfect. I don't feel like I had the perfect backdrop. I don't feel like I have this, but I'm doing it. And we will see my growth as I go. I already have a list of things I want to talk about, but to start, I have to start talking about something. I have to get the attention. So in this journey we call life, in anything we do in life also has many journeys. Life is its own big old journey, right? But we have all these subsections of the other journeys, whether it's school, a business, whether that's traveling, whether that's other mini goals you want to see. They're all journeys. So throughout these journeys, you do have to be patient with yourself. Every single season is not going to be the best season. Some seasons are to prepare you for your great season. Some seasons you feel lonely. Some seasons you feel uneasy and confused. But what do you do within those seasons? How do you still continue to love the journey throughout those seasons? And that's what I've been learning. That's what I've been trying to learn. I've been trying to find the beauty in everyday life. Right now I'm looking out and I'm just looking at the trees change colors to orange and red and fall off. It's the beauty of everyday life. And once they fall off, the tree's trusting itself to grow those leaves back. Right? The tree's trusting themselves to like give you back a beautiful green tree in the spring and summer. But right now it's shedding its time. It's the season. Right now it's the tree's season to shed all that heavy weight. It's a season to shed all the heavy feelings and vibes it has on it. It's a season to change. Change is okay. The tree is changing colors because it's its season to change colors. To shed off everything else. Now they've learned from the last year and doing better this year. Now next year they're going to come even bigger, brighter, fuller, prettier trees. Even some trees might come with better fruit, actual fruit this year. When you first plant a fruit tree, an apple tree, you don't get fruits the first year. It has to be planted in that ground 3-4 years plus before you even start getting anything that weeps from that, before you even getting a reward from that tree. So you have to plant that seed. Like, think about it. When you plant a seed, it takes a minute to grow. Regardless of how big it already is, whatever has a root or whatever, it takes a minute to grow and latch. It takes a minute to become comfortable in its environment and learn itself enough to stand on its own roots. Just like us. If you plant a tree that's already halfway ready, like an apple tree or something, you still got to water it and nurture it for 3 to 4 years before it even starts to give you any benefits. Before you're able to even eat an apple off of it. You know, remember that. When you're so hard on yourself for not being where you want to be, how you want to be there and when, you have to water yourself. You have to grow. You have to be okay in the season that you're in. And work towards the season because you know sooner or later it's better days. It's more to come. And that's how every tree moves. And that's naturally. That's how God put it in earth. So how do you think we're supposed to move? We have to nourish ourselves. We have to nourish our kids. We have to water them and watch them before they even grow to become or do anything. You have to nourish your mental, your health, water it, protect it. Don't let it get too cold where it dries out and burns out the branches. Don't let it get too hot where it burns between the leaves. You have to find that balance point, and that's what I've been learning to do in life, and I'm hoping other people are finding a way to navigate life that way, and I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm starting this podcast, so I can share what I know. But if you don't take anything else away from this or what I said today, really have grace with yourself. Have patience with yourself. But also love yourself enough to start. Love yourself enough to believe in yourself, to move. Take that first step. Open that door. It's right in front of you. But only you can open it. So take that first leap. Fuck off what everybody else has to say. Who cares how everybody else feels? You know, let me tell y'all something. Everything you do in life is going to be scary to somebody else who's never done it. All the visions that you're given to complete in life, that's for you. Everybody's not going to understand that vision. Everybody's not going to understand where you come from because everybody didn't see it how you seen it. You understand? So when you look at life or think about it in that aspect, everybody has their own visions in life. Everybody is meant to do and walk their own paths and journeys. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not going to agree with how you move and what you do and how you're going to do it. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean they're right. It doesn't mean their negativity means anything. Yeah, you're scared, but I'm not. Because I was given the vision to do this. When I first moved out and I was getting ready to move out into my apartment, my boyfriend already had his own apartment. So I was getting ready to know, like, I'm going to move out into my apartment, you know, on my own or whatever, until we move in together. When I was first getting my apartment, so many people around me were like, oh no, you want to move out already? You're still in school. You want to move out? You sure? And I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. Everybody kind of like put their fears and projected everything onto me. And everybody kept saying, your little apartment. Oh, you're not getting your little apartment no more? What's little about it, baby? It's Big Lee. Bad Gyal Lee. Big Lee. You feel me? It's nothing little. But I always heard, you're not getting your little apartment anymore. And if I waited to the perfect time to jump out and get that apartment, I would have been fucked. To be honest. Right after I moved into my apartment, within 2 months later, or within the same month, I got approved and locked in for my price rate for my apartment. The price for that apartment skyrocketed up to $300+ more than what I was paying. If I would have waited for the perfect time that everybody else was saying was going to be my perfect time, I would have been paying $2,000 plus for rent. But I listened to myself. I trusted myself. And I moved into that apartment like nothing and loved every moment of it. Loved every moment of it. And if I would have listened to anybody, I would have never experienced that. And in my apartment, I got new jobs. I explored new areas that I always wanted to see. And I saved the hell up. I saved up, me and my boyfriend, then saved up enough to buy our first house. We didn't tell anybody we was buying a house but our parents and our siblings, because everybody's projection and fear was so much and so heavy on us. Like, it would have been so much and so heavy, we would have kept questioning, is this right? Should we do this? Does this make sense? Can we handle this? And next month is making a year in our house, and we've done it. We've handled it. We did it with no issue. And we had to move on our time, not the perfect time, not waiting for that perfect moment. No, we had to start what we had to do and get it together. And every time I kept saying, oh, I just need to close by this day. I need to close by this day. You're not going to get that perfect time, baby. You got to do it and make it happen. And everybody who was talking like, oh, yeah, the house is going to be too much. You don't want to go get a house together right now. Da, 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 da. We're doing it. We have so much space than we did in our apartment. My dogs have a backyard to run in. I have a tub and a shower and one bathroom. Like, I'm look at the light. I'm sitting in front of my living room. This is the lighting for my house. Like, I'm in awe. I'm in awe at what I have done. I'm in awe at the opportunities and doors that have opened for me since I stopped listening to everybody else what ifs and don't do it and not yet. You're not ready. You're ready. Do it. There's no what ifs. We are all like, we're always worried like when and how and what. Just do it. And if you mess up, guess what? You learn from it. It's never too late to fix yourself. It's never too late to start. Well, sometimes it is too late to start. So that's why you just do it. You know, Nike say, just do it. Just do it. Because if you don't, you're going to be sitting there wondering, what if I did it? What if? I didn't want a few years to come down the line and then I'm married with kids and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what if? What if I started my YouTube? What if I started my podcast? I don't want that regret. I don't want to live every life waking up, what if I did what I really wanted to do? When now's the time to do it. So we don't have to live in regret. At least now I know if I try it, I do it. And if I do it with my all, I'll get somewhere. And if I don't, then I did it. At least I won't be wondering what if. Because right now you're wondering if only I had this. And a few years down the line, you're going to be wondering what if I did that. You can end all that right now. Start it. Do it. It's not as scary as you think it is. It's not as scary as everybody else makes it out to be. Because the people who are telling you how scary it is and how it doesn't make sense, look at where they are. Look at what they do. Do you want to switch places with them? Do you want to be in the same place they are? So sometimes you have to make those uncomfortable moves that they didn't. Sometimes you have to take those crazy ass risks that no one else thought to do. Sometimes that's all it takes, honestly. So drop the what ifs. And only if I had this, I can do that. You can do it. Do it now. Live it now. Try now. Like, don't. And even now, when now it's November, we're getting closer to the New Year's. Everybody's like, oh, when the New Year start, I'm going to try to do this. No, start it now. Start practicing. Make it a habit now. Because if you start now, it will become a habit before the New Year's. Honestly. Why wait for 2024 when you can prepare for 2024? If you start it now, it will become a habit before 2024. So what are you waiting for? A new year on the calendar? What, to tell you that you lost more time? Start it now. Do it now. But honestly, y'all, that has been heavy on my heart lately. That has been a topic that's been so heavy on my heart and on my brain lately, because although I'm talking to y'all, I'm really talking to myself at the same time. So it's been really heavy on me, because I needed to hear that. And if nobody else received it, I sure as hell did. But I did hope that this reached the right person. I hope that this was the message for you to hear. And I hope that you continue to follow along this journey with me. I would love to get your input on how you feel about the podcast so far, what topics you want to hear, how I've done within this one. But yeah, I love to hear it all. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for even listening, taking your time out to hear me out. And I have so much in store, longer content in store. This is just the first episode, so I ain't want to talk your ears off, because I'm a gal that love to talk, for real. All right, so yes, y'all. Bad Gyal Thoughts, the podcast. I just want to leave you one Bad Gyal thought for you to take with you, journal prompt with you, or keep in the back of your head. What is your if only that you can get rid of? What if only do you have in the back of your head? If only I did this, or if only I had that, I can do blank. What is that? I want you to figure that out and get rid of it. All right? And the next time, we'll be back. But thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. And like I said, my name is Lia Keonna, or Bad Gyal Lee. And this is Bad Gyal Thoughts, the podcast. Bye.